Hi, I'm Andre, and I'm a black nerd with a review for you, Black Nerd Reviews. Detective Pikachu. I'm gonna give you the good, I'm gonna give you the bad, I'm gonna give you the nerdy. First off, the world of Pokemon in this movie is really cool because it's the actual world of Pokemon. There's no Pokemon going through a portal to the real world. There's no Pokemon popping out of your television screens or your Game Boys or anything like that. We are in the world of Pokemon. Everyone knows that Pokemon exists, and even the cities and towns that we visit are cities and towns from the games and the style of it. And that's what really sells it. It's just the style, seeing these Pokemon in the world and believing that it's real. There are shots in this movie that feel like a Pokemon nature documentary. That's how good I think it's done. I think it's just something about the way it's filmed, get that grittiness of it a little bit. It kind of has this like Neo Japan slash future Pokemon like place, which really works out pretty well in its own design. And so having that and then having the Pokemon in it and having the Pokemon look as close to the original designs as possible, but just in this 3D photorealistic world, it's actually very impressive. I'm sorry, Blue Hedgehog, but there's a reason why Pokemon is getting the pass. Night and day the difference when you're making something that looks like it's new but still related to the original versus just, you know, it's going to probably be a lot of Roger Rabbit comparisons. And I think that's fair, at least in the sense of we're in a world where humans and Pokemon exist, and that's just normal in the same way that people understood cartoons existing and Toontown existing in Roger Rabbit. If you don't know a lot about Pokemon, I don't know how much the movie's going to help you out with that. It does give you some basic ideas. There's definitely some exposition parts, but it doesn't stop and go, who's that Pokemon? Like they do in the cartoon during the break. Sometimes you're going to see a Pokemon and you just have to know who it is. I'm a Gen 1er, so I knew some of them. There's some newer ones that have come out since the Pokemons I know that I didn't know, I wasn't aware of, but it was still really cool to see them interact in this world. But the ones that I knew and saw, I was like, oh, it's that one. I felt pretty good about that. So I think it's going to be one of those things where if you're not a huge Pokemon fan, you might be just more into, oh, this world looks interesting. But if you are one, then you're going to probably be able to sit there and every single Pokemon that shows up, you'll be like, oh, I know who that is. That's that one. That's that one. Because some of them are right in front of your face. Some of them are just floating around in the background. And that's what's really cool about having this world where people already understand Pokemon, because the biggest shock in this movie is that Detective Pikachu talks, and that Tim, Justice Smith's character, can understand him. Even though he's the only one that can understand him, everyone else just still hears Pika, Pika, Pika. They team up to try to solve the mystery of Tim's missing father. Is he missing? Is he dead? There's some conspiracy that could be going on behind all of it, and they want to find out what's happening. So you're going to get more of mystery solving than you're going to get of Pokemon battles. There definitely are some Pokemon fights in this, but it's definitely more of the solving the mystery aspect. And I kind of understand why they went this route. I mean, this seems like the kind of route that if you're not really big into Pokemon, you can understand the concept of solving a mystery to characters who don't know each other or have different kinds of personalities going along together on an adventure. Like, these are types of plots that most people understand, so you can enjoy that plot even if you don't know that much about what Pokemon is. And I can say, for the most part, that does work. So you don't have to necessarily, at least I don't think you do, have to necessarily be this hardcore knowledge about Pokemon to still not get the basic concept of these two are trying to solve a mystery or rewrite history. Detective Pikachu is funny. I mean, there's a lot of good jokes in there. There's a lot of good humor in there. There's a lot of good Pokemon-based humor. And I think that's what worked best. Now, of course, Ryan Reynolds is the voice of Detective Pikachu. And there were some people who were concerned that they were not going to be able to hear Pikachu, but instead hear Deadpool as Pikachu. There are a couple of jokes that he does that I did feel like was more PG Deadpool than it was Detective Pikachu. I'm pretty sure it was probably some ad-libs that Ryan Reynolds did and someone thought it was just funny and left it in. And that's fine. I'm not saying the jokes are bad, but it is a couple of jokes where I'm like, that's funny, but this doesn't feel like something Detective Pikachu would say. And I feel like some of the jokes that were made that were very much in world worked better. But like I said, there's only a couple of those, so it didn't throw me off that much. I wasn't sitting there thinking I was listening to Dead Pikachu, Deadpool Chew the whole time. I did feel like I was listening to a different character that just happens to also have the voice of Ryan Reynolds. And even though I enjoyed Detective Pikachu with his English dialogue being funny, I really enjoyed Psyduck, who had no dialogue other than saying, Psyduck, Psyduck. Psyduck, I love Psyduck. He's probably one of my faves now in the Pokemon world after this movie. The only thing I will say about the mystery aspect is that for me, at a certain point, I figured it out. If you're one of those people that don't sit there and try to like actually solve the mystery before the movie does, I think it's gonna be fun and enjoyable. But for some people, I think they will be able to figure it out pretty early on. Kept it very Scooby-Doo mystery-like in that there's not that many suspects about what's going on, so you can pretty much figure things out from there. However, there is one twist that happens in this movie that I did not expect, and it's very much in Pokemon world how they did it, and I was like, okay, that's good. That is good. That surprised me. I like it. And also a little creepy. You remember sometimes with this movie that as cool and cute and sweet as Pokemon is, they some dangerous things. So when you start seeing them actually interact with live actors and you start thinking about how that would be like if you were with the Pokemon and seeing some of the powers that these things have, you're like, okay, you know what? In real life, that would not be cool. You know how I love to just put gremlins in everything. There is a part in this movie that I swear there's a little monkey Pokemon. I think his name is AIPOM. He's like a monkey and he's got a hand for a tail. I'm just saying, there's a part with him or them, you watch it and tell me you don't think gremlins. That's all I'm gonna say. So overall, I thought this was a really good film. Definitely feel like that there's maybe some more Pokemon things that maybe Pokemon people will want, or maybe just some things about the story. Like I said, it feels a little traditional, a little predictable, but I still enjoyed it. And if this does well, I could definitely see this leading to maybe just a Pokemon universe where we can tell other stories in the world of Pokemon now that this world has been established. Maybe we'll get a Red and Blue movie next, or maybe we'll get a live action Ash and Misty and Brock and a Jesse and James. Oh my god, I would love a Team Rocket live action with a celebrity voice of Meowth. Let's do this. Meowth, that's right. So on my Care Bear scale of movie ratings, I'm gonna give Detective Pikachu a tender heart. I really, really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I had fun with it. Cute, adorable, fun, exciting, adventurous, and definitely a movie I could see again and want to see again once it releases. Kudos to everyone that worked on this movie and being as respectful as you could to people who are fans of Pokemon and the Pokemon franchise. And I really hope that Poke fans can get behind it. Let me know. If you're a hardcore Poke fan and you see this movie, do you feel like it did you justice? Smith, sorry. That was a really lame joke and I just went for it. You know, and there it is. Let me know if you're gonna go see Detective Pikachu, and if you did see it, let me know what you thought about it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like my reviews or just me talking about movies in general, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Also ring that bell. Be part of the squad by the bell. I love you like a play cousin. I'm Audi 5000. Pika Pika Psyduck.